Anxiety is universal. We've all felt it. There's absolutely nothing shameful about it, and there's no reason to keep it a secret. I'm just going to give you a few tips in this video to give you a sense of how anxiety shows itself so you can have an idea if that's what's happening with you, and a few tips about how to interrupt symptoms, and a few tips about how to manage or prevent anxiety from interfering with your daily life. So first, I'd like to tell you about something that's called anxiety that either matches the event or doesn't match the event. For example, anxiety that matches the event might be you're sending your little girl to her first day at preschool, and you're a little worried about if kids are going to be nice to her. You don't know if the teacher's going to be good, and your thoughts are racing a little, and your heart's beating a little bit fast. This anxiety matches the event. We know that, right? An example of anxiety not matching the event might be that you're just making a call to set up your physical with your doctor, your annual physical, and you start not knowing what you're going to say, and your hands are getting sweaty, and you want to avoid the call. So that's anxiety that might be coming from another place. We want to find out, we want to be curious where that's coming from, and we want to try to help ourselves figure that out. So that kind of a task will be easier for us. The second kind of anxiety I want to talk to you about is called free-floating anxiety, and it tends to be chronic. By nature of the description, it's anxiety that we really can't nail down. We can't figure out where it's coming from or why. It's the kind of thing where you're in bed in the morning on a work day and you're just feeling a kind of a nagging dread. You're already worrying about the 3 o'clock appointment, and then you get to work and someone approaches your desk and your heart's already going a little fast because you're kind of maybe expecting a criticism. And this is the kind of anxiety that kind of comes and goes, and we don't really know what causes it. It might be something from inside us. It might be something old that's coming back and haunting us. We don't know, and we want to try to get a little bit more clarity on that and figure it out so we can start having our mornings a little bit calmer and our days have a little bit more flow. The third kind of anxiety is basically anxiety and panic attacks. And we've all heard about these, right? And if you're watching this video and you've suffered anything like an anxiety attack, I want to tell you that you're very brave to watch this, and I'm glad you are, because sometimes these attacks can feel very scary. And it's really just anxiety, but it's like the anxiety seizes your whole system with symptoms. It can be a headache, it can be lightheadedness, it can be sweaty hands, it can be racing heart, racing thoughts. You can have any kinds of aches and pains. You can feel like you need to run out of the room, leave your job, a whole host of things. But it's a cluster of symptoms that just grabs you. And sometimes people just don't know what's happening to them. And this is probably really an anxiety attack. And we use the word panic attack if all those symptoms are stronger. They're escalating. Now, here's the thing. When anxiety has already arrived and you're in the middle of symptoms, don't try to argue with it. Don't ask yourself, oh God, why am I doing this? This is crazy. What's wrong with me? Don't. It's okay. This happens. And if we argue and we try to fight in the middle of having the symptoms, we will not win, because anxiety is already there, seizing our system. What we need to do is just to try to interrupt those symptoms. The brain is strong and the brain is smart, and we need to do some physical things that will interrupt them, like try to get your head lower than your heart. If you're sitting at your desk, try to get your head below your knees. You can throw cold water on your face if you can get to the bathroom. If you can walk out of the building and walk briskly for 10 minutes, that's great, because it gets your blood flowing and it gets your endorphins going, and your brain starts to feel like, oh, maybe I can recalibrate. Interrupting is the thing to do. You might get set back to normal, or you might just interrupt it so it doesn't escalate and become worse. On a regular basis, if you feel you struggle with anxiety in any kind of chronic way, or if it pops up often enough that you notice it, here are the big heavy hitters of good things to do. Exercise, cardiovascular, any kind of walking, running, anything cardiovascular, even if it's just get off the subway one stop before your house and walk home. Anything that's meditative. It doesn't have to be sitting on a cushion. It could be lying on the floor 3 minutes before you go to work and just let your thoughts run and let your body relax. Let your nervous system be reminded that it can be at zero baseline. And the big thing, besides other things like eating well and getting sleep, the big thing is try not to isolate. We've all been there. Don't be ashamed. Call someone, reach out. Your friends want to help you. Your friends want to help you not feel so anxious. And at some point, you will help them too. So pick up the phone, walk out of your house, go to the coffee shop at the corner and just say hi to the guy you get coffee from every morning before work. Reach out. This is universal, and we've all been through it. And I'm so glad that you watched this video to just get a little bit of information, and I hope it serves you well. Please visit my website at susan-lambert.com or have a listen to the podcast, In the Balance, Connecting Mind, Body, and Heart, which you can find at inthebalance.life.